I'm sorry about that. The last one, I wasn't watching the time and I didn't realize that I went over. I don't know what to say. You can go to my Ghosty Geek YouTube channel because I post these things right there too. And usually I'll post all the videos there, even before I post them here on TikTok because they're such a pain to post on TikTok here. They are such a pain. Oh my God, are they ever a pain? But so yeah, as I was sorry, excuse me, as I was saying in my last video, these evil entities will be the first ones to tear a person down, and they will be the first, and they will be the first ones, or maybe the second or third, who knows when, but they will try to get everyone to not believe a first person testimony of whatever this person has been through, or a first person statement of whatever this person has been through, or these, you know or people that go through stuff, these people's personal facts that happen to them. They will be, these entities will be the first ones to say that that never happened. It's not possible. That's imaginative. You're lying. They will chime in on Twitter. They will, or X as it's called now. They'll chime in on threads that, YouTube, anywhere, and they'll say, this isn't real. This is fake. It's staged. You know, no, 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 no. They'll go on and they will absolutely tear this person, whoever, whatever it is, no matter what the subject matter is, they will absolutely tear them up and tear them apart. It's not good. It's not good. They won't they won't admit, they don't want anyone admitting to the truth. That is the main thing. And the more outlandish it is, the more real it is. So the more unbelievable it is, the more you need to believe it because it is the truth. All right? Just remember that. The more outlandish and unbelievable and impossible it is for it to be real, the more real it actually is. That is what I have found out. And I've been absolutely shocked, but it's the truth. Is that and those who are in power are trying to disempower us and take our power away by making it so that we don't trust anyone. That is the key in human beings and humanity. All we need to do is we need to trust each other and believe each other, and that will stop all the problems that we're having in science, all the problems that we're having in absolutely everything everywhere, is our distrust and our disbelief. These underground reptiles that are actually controlling and ruling the world, they have made it so that we don't trust and believe things. That is their hypnotism centers, and they are hypnotizing everyone. That is their brainwashing. And the reason they're doing that is to control us. Just like how people in China are brainwashed and hypnotized into believing that democracy doesn't work, literally. It's the exact same difference here in the West. There's no difference at all. They're brainwashing you and convincing you that, that ghosts don't exist, that, aliens don't exist, that technology like that can't possibly exist, that never happened to that person, that near-death experiences can't possibly exist. I mean, just pick anything at all. Because they know that we are intelligent enough that if we actually start looking into these things, we will find out what is actually happening and what is actually going on and what mind-blowing technology these entities have and what they are doing to us and what are doing to our environment and what they have been doing to us and our environment all along. We are intelligent enough to figure it out, and they don't want us figuring it out, and they don't want us having power over even our own minds and our own bodies. And so that is why they sow disbelief, and that is why they sow distrust, and that is why they don't want anyone looking into anything. They don't want anyone going head first into any anomaly or any unexplained event. They want people to be stupid and to stay away from such things. They don't want people they don't even want the stupid ones to give themselves their own personal answers, and just be satisfied and walk away. They don't want anyone looking into it. I don't care what it is, no matter how boring and mundane it may seem, they don't want people having knowledge. In fact, they never wanted, one of the reasons that they didn't want slaves to be able to read and write, they didn't want the slaves to have the power to be able to have say over their own personal lives, even though it's something as boring and mundane as being able to read and write. What kind of power does that give a slave? It doesn't give them any power at all. You can still deny that they signed that document. You can still tear up that, certificate of whatever and say that they never signed it. Who's going to be believed? You, the white person, you, the master, or the black person? Obviously the white master is going to be believed, not the black person. And yet they still didn't want slaves to get the knowledge and the ability to read and write. And that is what is going on here with us humans versus the Vrill, versus the underground reptiles, versus the non-player characters, which are all one and the same, just totally different names. Or versus, the human beings who know just a little bit, just enough to keep the rest of the population in check, which is the brothers of the serpent. The brothers of the serpent are the human beings who they let into their group just enough to let them be the gatekeepers. And it's literally like back in the day how they would take the biggest, strongest, black guy and have him be the one riding the horse and whipping the other slaves and forcing them to work faster. It's the dead stamp same thing. No difference at all. Except this is human and non-human. We're literally speaking about human and non-human here. No difference at all. So these non-player characters, these brothers of the serpent, they will be the first ones to tear down a person or a first person's testimony or a first person's statements or, people's personal facts that happen to them. So remember that. So moving on to the next thing, which is also very poignant. Now, this is more for the Vrill, the underground reptiles, the NPCs, the non-player characters. They also do not grieve and will be the first ones to tell a person to move on. This is because they do not experience death. In other cultures, they will be the ones pointing fingers of blame, saying that so-and-so is not grieving enough or properly for, said dead leader. But if it's a family member who was killed, like say by the government or something in a foreign land, they'll be the first person to say, that person was evil, you shouldn't be grieving them at all. They will be, so these non-player characters, these Vrill, these underground reptiles are very cruel. And they will be, and even in the Western world here, they will be the first ones to say, you shouldn't be grieving, your dead child. Get over it already. You shouldn't be grieving your dead grandparents. Get over it already. You shouldn't be even grieving, your dead cats or dogs or, whoever was the family pet. Get over it already. Oh, it's been 2 weeks. Why aren't you over it already? It was just a dog. It was just a cat. It was just a hamster, Oh, it's been 3 months. Why aren't you over the death of your grandparent already? It's been 3 years. Why aren't you over the death of your child already? I'm sorry, but death, actual human beings, real human beings, never get over death. You never get over death. Never, 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 never. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you were the child. Doesn't matter if you were the parent. You never get over losing. You never even get over losing a pet. I lost cats several years ago and I'm still hurting from it. I still have a hard time watching cat videos. It still hurts, and I've lost grandparents and I've lost aunts and uncles and it still hurts. I've lost cousins. And even though I wasn't very close to these people, it still hurts. And I don't know how to take it. I can't wrap my head around death, So human beings might not be able to understand or take death, but the Vrill, the reptiles, the non-player characters, they're exceedingly cruel with death, and they use death as a tool to manipulate. And they will be the first ones to say, you shouldn't be grieving anymore. You should just get over it. You're mentally ill because you're still grieving. You're mentally ill because you're depressed. You're mentally ill because you're still sad. The second anyone says that, anything even like that to you, cut them out of your life because they are dangerous. They are the Vrill. They are the NPCs, the non-player characters. They are bad, bad, bad. And they are not good. And I don't care if it was a counselor that said that to you. That means that counselor is an NPC player. And you need to get the crap away from them and wipe out everything else that they taught you, because it's dangerous and it's fucking up your life in ways that you can't even fathom right now because you've been too vulnerable and too broken to even know or understand. So I got to cut the video. It's at the 10-minute mark. I'm sorry. Bye.